All right, fight fans, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For all my new subscribers, I appreciate you. My returning subscribers and viewers, welcome back. So this episode, this fight, I'm going to break down between Matheus Nicolau versus Tim Elliott. This should be an interesting fight, but I do believe that Matheus Nicolau's fighting style will fall right into the lap and the wheelhouse of Tim Elliott. And I say that because Nicolau, he fights going backwards. He's not really a forward pressure fighter. And whereas Tim Elliott is applying the pressure nonstop. And Nicolau, when you get too close to him, he has a tendency to do a flying knee, jumping knee, things of that nature, or else he's just going to shoot for a takedown himself. And before he gets to that point, he likes to do leg kicks and, pick his shots. He'll rush in, throwing hooks. And all of these things are going to leave him susceptible to a takedown or a clinch. And Tim Elliott, when he's applying his pressure, he's constantly switching stances. He's lifting his leg up to avoid being leg kicked. He's throwing out little jabs, little punches, and I just think that with the amount of pressure he applies and the fighting style of Nicolau, that, it's just going to be a matter of time before Tim Elliott can get his hands on him, hold him up in the clinch, and take him down. And in Tim Elliott's last fight, his opponent had the hardest time getting back to his feet. He spent minutes on his back. And recently listened to an interview of Tim Elliott. That is his new fighting style. He said he just straight up Khabibs it now. He said he doesn't want to, take his opponent down and go for 12 takedowns and 12 guillotines. He wants to keep his opponent down. And his last performance, he did just that. And when I watched Nicolau, he had a hard time keeping Manel Kape down. And Manel Kape was able to take him down. And not to compare the two, but I do believe Tim Elliott is a stronger wrestler than Kape, And I think that this is going to translate. Tim Elliott's strength will translate over to this fight against Nicolau. And I think that Nicolau has not faced a grappler or a wrestler that's on the level of Tim Elliott. And so I think this is going to be a major disadvantage for Nicolau. And as far as the stand-up and striking goes, Nicolau really depends on these leg kicks. And if they're not there, then, he's not going to be able to slow Tim Elliott down. And Tim Elliott is high pace. He's constantly moving. And I do believe that the cardio is going to play a major factor as well, because when Nicolau is backing up and, constantly having his back up against the cage, all that movement going backwards is draining, is tiring. And that's exactly what I believe he'll be doing. And so I think by the second round, Nicolau is going to be dipping into that gas tank, whereas Tim Elliott will just be getting started. He'll feel just as good as he did round one. And I think that this is going to weigh on Nicolau. And I feel the advantage for cardio is going to go to Tim Elliott. And as I mentioned, just their fighting styles in general. Tim Elliott's coming forward, Nicolau's going back. But in this case, it's not going to stop. This pressure is going to be consistent. And even when Nicolau goes for the shoot and goes for the takedown, I think Tim Elliott is going to stuff it, right? And I think Tim Elliott is going to have him down on the canvas, because Tim Elliott really goes for these neck chokes, right? Whenever his opponent's trying to take him down, he immediately goes for the choke. And that halts all takedown. You have to defend your neck. And while you're defending that neck, Tim Elliott can easily transfer shift positions. And he also gets his opponent so focused on guarding for the takedown that he's able to slip in elbows, get in knees, get in body shots. So he's really a mastermind at applying his game plan and working off of what he knows he's already established. So when his opponent is protecting that takedown, he's catching elbows, he's getting body shots. And right when you want to protect against the body shots, against the elbows, he's going to get you for that takedown. And he's great at chain wrestling. Tim Elliott's great at chain wrestling. And so I just see this is going to be a nonstop pressure fight for Nicolau, and Tim Elliott's just going to lay it on him. And once he gets him down, I think due to fatigue, Nicolau's going to have to just, give up and try to catch a breath. And in that time, Tim Elliott's going to be smudging his head on his face, applying great head pressure, dropping elbows and knees. And he fights really aggressive when he's on top. Tim Elliott does. And I think this is just going to be overwhelming for Nicolau. And Nicolau looks like his bread and butter is to pick his shots and you know, kind of beat you on the points. If he's stronger than you, or he catches you slipping, he'll submit you. But that has not been the nature of his wins lately. They have been, you know, unanimous decisions. But Tim Elliott leaves no doubt in his fights. If he's going to take you down and keep you down the whole round, that's going to be a Tim Elliott round. And if he takes you down 5 or 6 times in a round, that also is going to be a Tim Elliott round. So I just think the relentless pressure coming from Tim Elliott is going to be too much for Nicolau. And that's how I see this fight going. And when Nicolau does blitz in and try and throw these hooks, Tim Elliott has a real good defense. He can dip under these punches, slip these punches. And I can easily see him, you know, ducking under one of these hooks and boom, right into a takedown. So Nicolau's going to have to be really careful on how he approaches this fight. And I just don't think he has the answers because of a lot of the things he likes to do is going to put him in trouble and leave him susceptible to the takedown and the clinch. And although Nicolau has good jiu-jitsu, Tim Elliott has escaped a lot of submissions. He's a really tough guy. I don't see him tapping. And when he fought Royval, when Tim Elliott fought Royval, he got really fatigued, but he had mentioned that he was in a place in his life where he had to take fights for money. And as of today, he's good financially, so he passed up on lesser opponents in order to get an opponent on a win streak, and that just happens to be Nicolau. And so I think Tim Elliott's in a good headspace. He said his weight cut is going great. He doesn't feel his opponents, you know, can do the weight cut as good as him. So this just translates to a lot of confidence coming from Elliott. And Nicolau barely skated by beating Manel Capet. And like I mentioned, I don't think he's on the same wrestling and scrambling and chain wrestling level as Tim Elliott. So I think this is a heavily favored Tim Elliott fight for myself personally. The odds makers have Tim Elliott as an underdog. So if you jump on it now, you can get that plus money. But expect Tim Elliott to come in focused and executing his game plan. And a lot of the tendencies that Matheus Nicolau likes to do in his fights are not going to be there. As I mentioned, Tim Elliott's constantly lifting that leg. He's constantly switching stance. So, you know, all these timing strikes for Nicolau is not going to be there. He's going to be, you know, just a step behind or a beat too slow. And when he does rush in and try to do these, you know, sudden stunning punches, expect Tim Elliott to be privy to it and quickly duck under and, you know, just have great reaction time. And with his toughness combined with all of this, expect this to be a drag-out fight, you know, where Tim Elliott does not get tired. And when Tim Elliott is not tired, it's going to be hard to stop him. It's going to be hard to keep him off of you. And just imagine going back for too long, round after round after round, you're going to be exhausted. And so I foresee him getting put on his back, held in place, and just grind it out. And that's how I see this fight going. If you like this content, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Let's look forward to the fights and get this money. Underdog value for this one. Peace out.